Hello everyone, my name is Renzo Y. Esmeralda and I will be discussing the performance criteria, rating scale, types and uses, and the checklist, procedures or processes versus product. What is performance criteria? So performance criteria are the specific standards or indicators used to measure how well a task or activity has been performed. Performance criteria tell what to look for and how to judge the quality of a student's work or performance. What is a rating scale? Rating scale is a tool that measures the degree or level of performance of a learner based on specific criteria. It indicated how well the performance meets expectations. There are three types of rating scale: the numerical rating scale, the descriptive or qualitative rating scale, and the graphic rating scale. First is the numerical rating scale. In here, it uses numbers, example 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. The numbers represents the level of performance or quality. Example, 1 is equal to poor and 5 is equal to excellent. Next is the descriptive or qualitative rating scale. It uses words or phrases, verbal description of what performance looks like, helping both the assessor and the student understand why a certain rating is given. For example, outstanding, very good, satisfactory, needs improvement, and poor. Next is the graphic rating scale. It uses a line or continuum where performance is marked along the scale. The rater marks a point along a horizontal or vertical line that best describes the level of performance. Example, from low to high with a point mark from the learner's performance. Next, what are the uses of rating scales? First, to evaluate quality of performance, example, speaking skills, teamwork, or problem solving. This is to determine how well a person has carried out a task or met specific standards. Next, to provide quantitative data for comparison. Performance is rated using numerical values or scales, allowing easy comparison between individuals, tasks, or time periods. Next, to make judgments more objective and consistent, ensuring that evaluations or decisions are based on clear, measurable criteria rather than personal opinions or bias, so that different evaluators can reach similar conclusions about the same performance. Also, next, it is useful in rubrics, performance appraisals, and student assessments. They help measure to the quality or level of performance in a consistent and objective way. So, what is one advantage of using rating scale in performance-based assessments? One advantage of using a rating scale in performance-based assessments is that it provides a standardized and consistent way to evaluate performance across different individuals. This helps ensures that all students or employees are assessed using the same criteria, reducing subjectivity and bias, and making it easier to compare results and identify areas for improvement. What is the main purpose of using a rating scale in assessments? Main purpose is to measure the degree or quality of a skill, behavior, or performance in a consistent and structured way. So, a rating scale is an assessment tool that evaluates performance, skills, or behaviors using a predefined range of levels such as numerical or descriptive categories. Its main purpose is to provide a structured and consistent way to measure the quality or degree of performance. Rating scales help ensure fairness and objectivity, simplify comparisons between individuals, allow for specific feedback, and enable tracking of progress over time. Common types include Likert scales, numerical rating scales, and descriptive rating scales. Next, the checklist. Checklist for procedures or processes versus checklist for products or outputs. So what is a checklist? Checklist is a tool that records the presence, absence, or completion of specifying behaviors, steps, or features. It shows what has been done but not the level of quality. Checklist is a list of items, steps, or criteria used to ensure that all parts of a process or product or task are completed correctly and consistently. There are two types of checklist, the checklist for procedures or processes and the checklist for product or output. So first, the procedures or processes. So procedures and processes, it is used to check whether each step in a process was performed. So a checklist for procedures or processes is a tool that outlines all the essential steps to complete a task accurately and consistently. It begins with identifying the objective, gathering the necessary materials or tools, and then following step-by-step instructions in the correct order. Each step is verified as completed to ensure nothing is missed and compliance with quality or safety standards is confirmed. Results or outcomes are documented, the work is reviewed for accuracy, and finally, completion is reported or communicated as needed. This is used to ensure that every step in a task or process is completed correctly and in order. It helps monitor progress, maintain consistency, and reduce errors during performance. For example, in a lab experiment, did the student wear safety gear, prepare materials, or follow steps in order? Next one is the checklist for products or outputs. In here, it is used to check if the final product contains all required feature or components. It is used to evaluate the quality and the completeness of a finished work or outcome. Instead of focusing on the steps like process checklist, it focuses on the final product, whether it meets specific standards or criteria. For example, in a research paper, title page included, the references complete, graphs and tables are labeled. That is the example of the items that should be checked for the checklist of for products and or outputs. So what is the purpose of using a checklist for procedures? The main purpose of using a checklist for procedures is to ensure that all necessary steps are completed accurately and consistently, helping to reduce errors, improve efficiency by providing a clear, organized guide to follow. So, how does a product checklist ensure quality? In here, a product checklist ensures quality by providing a detailed list of specific criteria or standards that the product must meet. This helps to systematically verify that all essential features, specifications, and quality requirements are met. So, how does a product checklist ensure quality? Product checklist ensure quality by providing a detailed list of specific criteria or standards that the product must meet. This helps to systematically verify that all essential features, specifications, and quality requirements are checked before the product is finalized or delivered. reducing the chance of defects and ensuring consistency and reliability. So, what are the comparison of these two, the rating scale and the checklist? The rating scale measures quality or degree of performance, while the checklist measure completion or presence of tasks or features. So, a rating scale is used to measure the quality, intensity, or degree of performance, behavior, or attributes by providing a range of ratings, such as from poor to excellent. It allows evaluators to assess how well someone performed and offers detailed feedback that can highlight strengths and areas for improvement. Because it involves varying levels of judgment, rating scales require evaluators to interpret and apply criteria thoughtfully. On the other hand, a checklist is a tool that confirms whether specific steps, tasks, or criteria have been completed or met, usually with simple yes or no or done, not done responses. Checklists are designed to ensure that no important element is missed during a process, making them straightforward and easy to use. Just like my example nung kanina na ina nakumpleto ba ng mag-aaral na ganito, nakapagsuot ba siya ng safety gear during the lab experiment. So that is the example of checklist for procedures. Unlike rating scales, checklists do not provide information about the quality of performance, only whether or not required actions were taken. In summary, rating scales focus on evaluating the degree of consistency of tasks or requirements. Both tools are valuable in assessments, but serve different purposes depending on whether the goal is to measure quality or to ensure completeness.